Right, so first you got your harness, of course. I like the chest connection for these. There's a multitude of types, you'll see them at the shop. Then you get these lockable carabiners, so that is always clipped on, and to lock it you only whiz that up so it can't pop open. You need that for this connection. You make sure these are kind of fitting like nicely, because you kind of may need to be hanging in them once in a while, and it's best if you can have someone else around in case you do something retarded and fall. At least they can call the phone, so often I just have a phone in my pocket in case I'm sort of away from people. Okay, so the next thing, like I was saying, is that prusik knot. So here's one which is starting. That's a bit of rope, about, I don't know, 2 meters long, and you're basically trying to make a loop. You can probably be really rude about it and just do your old granny knot thing, but the proper way to do it is you overlap them quite a chunk and then just roll it back over itself twice and then pop it through to where it came through, and that will do one side.
Shall I zoom in? Okay,
yeah, so just move in.
Okay.
And
right.
That's where I was filming.
Hi.
And then so round a couple of times and back under. I don't know what this one's called, but when you look at it, a lot of these knots you sort of look at and you know that they're right. So see how that's going that way, that's actually wrong. So it won't knit together. So whatever I did last time, which was come over the back, in this case I need to actually go over the front and do the double loop. And then back and under itself. It's probably something about rabbits and holes and shit like that, but you could probably... So now it looks like a big nice kind of sausage and that kind of roly thing. What it does is it just holds. So, when you're putting this onto the rope, which I've got hung out of the tree, there's two ways to do it obviously. You can either use a single rope and you tie that onto whatever you're going to tie it onto with, I think, your clothes hitch one, which is the rope coming back round onto itself, and just keep repeating that knot until you're happy with it basically. If you can Google a rope to rope connection, which is better, great, use it, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can use double ropes, it's much easier, because it just holds onto itself. And the way that this knot works, the prusik, which is the main one you're using, it works by how many rotations you do. So this is a triple rotation. It might actually work two, because it's the relation between this density of this width of rope, which is usually the 12mm climber, which you'll be using. You can get static and flexible. I have just got whatever I have. It's not that important, honestly, for what we're doing, but I'll show you another bit soon. So to get these on, you've got your loop. Position it maybe so that that's never at the bottom, because that's what you're going to be holding all the time. And then there's two ways to do it. There's this one, which is a matter of just rotating the middle of the rope through the loops and then popping that through. And let's see, that's like a double loop, and you just always want this to look even. If it's not even looking, so this one is good as the first variation, because when you pull on it, it just locks. So it doesn't matter which way you're going, you can be going that way as well. And so if you're going up over an apex of a roof, if you had it tied off at each end, then you can be, once you've got tension on it, it locks. The one I prefer, when I use more often, other than that, it's just wrapping it around above itself and then just pull that through. And then it's the same system, it's just grabbing onto the rope and, locks. So for this one, this is typically, and again it's like, this
do you want to do that
one
again?
10 or 12mm rope. See, that's a triple spin, like up the top. You could probably actually do it with almost one. And this is kind of how you know whether the knot is working or not, because it works or it doesn't. So would that work? It's on the verge of working, So say this is like a much skinnier rope, like that might actually get away with two spins. It just depends on what conditions you've got, what materials you've got. So I mean, the more you have, it just becomes a bulkier knot at the end, and you need to start with a longer bit of rope to start your prusik with. Get through! Okay, so that's definitely going to work. So then your shackle would be open. You can put that on like a clumsy motherfucker. Always do that up, and then you're actually connected to the rope system now, and from that you can just hang, you know, so that's pretty tough. And to get it down, you can't pull it down. You can, but like that's out of control, right? So the way you get control is you put your foot in another one, and so then you're standing in this one, and you slide that one up. The way you also slide it, by the way, if it does lock, just you need no pressure on it to move it. So like when I was hanging on it, you can't pull it down, but you can, but it then slips and it'll burn your hand and freak you out, and you're out of control. So with this one, you just need to hold it and just push the knot. So if it's under tension, then you need to take the tension off, just lift it, and then you're back on, you know? So there, there. And then so to climb, you sit in your harness, that's where you want. See, these ones, that was riding up my ass too much, so you need that shorter. Probably the legs could be a bit tighter as well. Okay. So standing in that one, you lift up, get it to where, so this does rely on the length that you've got. So then you sit in that one, and then you just lift that one up as high as you can. Make it awkward, because that means then you get higher. Get back up to here. Yeah. And then so from here, you can either put another connection on over here with another rope, or the other end of the rope or something, or carry on, you know, you're safe at it. And so to get down...
Before you come down, can you make a Tarzan noise, please? Excellent.
So you might have talked to Jeff with the one we did with the tree, and we had to like hang a lot like this, doing shit that was pretty mental. So in that case, you just have to make sure your knots are good, you haven't got little snags on your carabiner and stuff. And then so to go down, if you've got no pressure on that one, then you can lower that one down, and that, and then keep dropping. Or so that was slipping because the knot here was a little bit back, so don't ever kind of totally assume it's got you. And so like say on the edge that you go into the edge of the roof, you'd be climbing out, and just keep this always tight basically, because then if you do fall, you're going to swing as well. So figure where your anchor point's going over, like the ridge or something like that. You might need to tie it off so that it's not going to then fall off and then you'll fall off with it. So say you're out to here, then you can just keep the pressure on a little bit, take it off, and you can creep down to do your dodgy shit. So having your second one just means that you've always got, it's good to have probably a second one even in your pocket in case you fall. Then you can attach this onto the rope and lower yourself down if you haven't got a second one with you. If you haven't got another way of doing it, ultimately you could always get the end of your rope and make a loop and then use that just to get down the rope a little bit further if that was going to help. So make sure this is always locked, that's the main thing. And then yeah, pull it apart. So happy fixing.